Okay, we're at the Cathedral City Public Library where we hold our monthly meetings on the first Sunday of every month at 3 o'clock, and we would love for you to come down. We don't videotape the meetings, but we do generally quite often do interviews before the meetings, and you are more than welcome to come down. You know, come down around 1:30 or so, 1:45, and you can sit in and see some of the interviews that we're doing like we're doing right now. And with me, as you know, is Stewart Alexander, who is a candidate for Lieutenant Governor of the Peace and Freedom Party. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for inviting me to participate on your program.
Well, it's great to have you here. You know, we were talking a little bit before the show, and Mr. Alexander is a resident of the Inland Empire, Riverside County in particular, Murrieta to be even more. So how long have you lived in the...
I've lived in Murrieta. Actually, I met my wife in 99. And after I met her, she was living in Murrieta, and I moved from San Bernardino County to Murrieta.
Well, how long were you in San Bernardino County?
I was in San Bernardino County for approximately 6 years.
So you've been in
I've been in Los Angeles probably a good over 20 years.
But you've been in the Inland Empire for almost 15.
Exactly.
So you know the Inland Empire.
I certainly
we
do.
have a candidate here who knows our interest. You know, none of the other lieutenant governor candidates live in our area.
I'm the only one in that area.
There
this
you go.
area.
So
Correct.
We've got a special way. We have an in with this guy. You're running for lieutenant governor.
Yes.
Why should the public trust an automobile salesman to be lieutenant governor? They're so lowly rated.
Well, one of the things I'm glad that I'm with Saturn, because Saturn has taken they have a different approach. They want their consultants to present that professional image that should be in automobile sales. And also in state government. I believe that we have a better reputation than the people up in Sacramento. Most of the people in California,
That's right.
They don't care too much
right.
about those two
right.
up there in Sacramento, and then most of the time they relate to them as the same party.
Tell us a couple of the reasons why you feel what needs to be done in the state of California and how you could help achieve that.
Well, the reason why I'm running for lieutenant governor, I believe I'm just like many other people that are watching this program today, and I've mentioned that before. And a lot of people feel that they have been locked out, left out of the political process. They don't have a voice in government. And I think I bring that to the table, where I give people an opportunity where they can be heard on many of the issues that I am concerned with, that they are concerned with. Issues such as marijuana laws and how they are affecting people as far as for good health. And we have taken corporate profits and we have taken the corporate interest and put the human interest on the back burner, and I don't think it should be that way. A lot of other issues, and I'll mention very briefly, here in Riverside County, I am concerned with a project such as the Liberty Quarry. Here, this project is going to affect the lives of millions of people that live within that area. Again, we're putting corporate interests above the human interest.
Is this a quarry that somebody wants to...
The project is called Liberty Quarry, which will be on 155 acres, where they will actually be extracting aggregate, which will create dust in the area, bringing 1,400 trucks onto the highways on a daily basis, and this is going to make life miserable for hundreds of thousands right in the area, and also millions. And these are the things I believe.
You use your influence as lieutenant governor to help us?
Exactly. We need to bring these issues right to the table.
You got it. Hey,
okay.
It sounds really good to me. Let's talk about medical marijuana, though. You brought that up. I know you have a lot of interest in a lot of other things, but our viewership, we're kind of interested in your views on that in particular. How do you feel about medical marijuana?
Well, I think this is very important for the public, for good health. Again, I believe back in the 30s when marijuana became illegal, this was in 1937, but because of the propaganda that was put out by corporate America at the time, looking at this as being competition for their corporate profits, they actually outlawed it at that time. But if you look at the history of marijuana, it goes back over 6,000 years before Christ.
Yeah,
it was used in many of the civilized countries such as in China, in Greece, in Rome, the Syrians. It has been used throughout the world.
It kind of parallels human civilization.
Exactly. You put it quite well. Very interesting. When I even look at marijuana, here within the United States under the Nixon administration, they tried to see about moving ahead to make it legal here in the U.S. Once again. Yeah. But unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere with at that time. But I believe that it's very important that we have this for the health of many people that need it because of having serious illnesses or terminal illnesses where it can be able to offer them some type of relief.
Yeah. One of the problems that we've had with Proposition 215 is that although the majority, we had 55% voted for it, and a lot of candidates would consider that a mandate if they got that kind of a percentage in an election. It doesn't take much to get a mandate nowadays. The problem has been implementing the law, and a lot of law enforcement have refused to recognize it and continue to arrest people and so on. Now here in Riverside County, we've made some good progress over the last half year. Actually, we've made some fantastic progress. But San Bernardino County still takes a zero tolerance policy. What can we do to make these recalcitrant county governments like San Bernardino come in the line and recognize that this is the law and they have to follow it?
Well, what is happening here is a mandate that came from the voters. Voters saying this is something that we need. But you have Sacramento, which they're going in a different direction from the people of the state of California. We need to have state leaders such as myself and the public going in the same direction. So once 215 was voted in by the voters in 95, now you have legislators that are not trying to enforce that. Even though you can obtain IDs, you still have a lot of restrictions that are posed by many of the county governments. I believe we need to have it where it's more available as far as enforcement on a state level, and also less restrictions with the various governments. San Bernardino, as you mentioned, it's a severe problem there. Riverside has been a lot more flexible than other areas.
As Lieutenant Governor, do you think you'd be able to do anything to influence the federal government in relationship to its stand on medical marijuana?
That was close to what I was going to ask, and so maybe you can incorporate into the same question. What can the Lieutenant Governor do to influence federal law? What can the Lieutenant Governor do to influence local politicians and local law enforcement to stop arresting patients?
Well, one of the questions I had on a TV program just recently is they had asked, should the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor be on the same ticket? Well, I believe it should be on two separate tickets because it gives myself as a representative of the people of California where I can speak on those issues. California leads the nation in regards to many of the changes in legislation that affect almost 300 million people at this point. And I believe I believe once I'm in the position as Lieutenant Governor, I'll be able to be a vocal advocate, not just here in California, but to take the same message all the way throughout the entire nation.
Okay, so I'm not sure. What can the Lieutenant Governor do to stop law enforcement change? Is it something that the Lieutenant has a bully pulpit, but that's about all he really has?
Well, the thing is, as I mentioned, the Governor, he's elected to, he's a leader, he's a chief executive.
Right, he's the one that pulls all the strings.
For the state of California.
Yeah.
But many times, as we see with our President, Lieutenant Governor Cruz Bustamante, a lot of times you never even see him on the press. We need to have a Lieutenant Governor that can be on that pulpit, that can be able to voice what the concerns are of the community. He will be a visible figure, myself, where I can be able to lead in these particular areas. And that's what people are looking for in California right now. They are looking for leadership, and that is what we lack.
Okay.
That's what I offer.
Yeah, the Lieutenant Governorship always has seemed to be kind of, well, there's not too much they can really do. But they do have an incredible platform. Because they're the Lieutenant Governor of the state of California, and that gives you an enormous platform in which to help try to shape things going through the legislature and going through government.
Very important. the Lieutenant Governor's office is a very important office within the state of California, and it's so many people know so little about that position. I speak to some people and they said, the Lieutenant Governor, is he part of the Governor's cabinet? And they're not really certain. Realizing even when the Governor's out of the state, the Lieutenant Governor is actually, he is the one that is running state government at that point. If the Governor is sick, where he is not able to perform in that office, the Lieutenant Governor is in that position. There's a lot of power within the office of the Lieutenant Governor, very comparable to what you have with the President of the United States and also the Vice President.
You think the Lieutenant Governor's office has as much power as the Vice President? Does the Lieutenant Governor sit?
Well, obviously, when you talk about the President of the United States.
Well, no, I mean comparable to the Governor.
Oh, comparable
to the Governor.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Actually,
fair enough.
No, he's got more power because you're right. When the Governor's out, when the President's out, the Vice President doesn't have any power.
Exactly.
But
the President's still the President.
And California over the years has gone through some pretty funny incidents.
Exactly.
Well, you know, really, it would seem like if you got a governor we really don't like him, we like the Lieutenant Governor. Somebody might the Governor might be concerned about
Send him on an extended cruise.
Send him an extended cruise, yeah. Give him a movie contract in Africa. So, okay, well, listen, I want to, the Peace and Freedom Party is the party that you represent.
Yes, I do.
You know, I remember when I was in college, this was a long time ago, and the Peace and Freedom Party was just getting founded, and then we were all joined.
1967.
Tell us a little bit. So the Peace and Freedom Party is, it's still out there. Tell us about what the party's doing.
Well, the party, we're very much alive, and one of the things, this is the right time for the Peace and Freedom Party. As I mentioned, the Peace and Freedom Party has been around. We're moving into our 40th anniversary year, and people are ready for change right now. People are very dissatisfied with the one-party system, with the Democrats and Republicans, one party with two names. And the Peace and Freedom Party, now people are starting to see this is an organization they are representing what we believe. They are representing the direction that we need to take as a state and also as a nation. And I believe within the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to see the Peace and Freedom Party expanding to a national level. We are a left party. And then there's two others that are actually on the right. So we're a left party, which I believe here in California will be able to recruit many of those people that are part of the now identified as the Democratic Party, people that are looking for change. We represent that change.
Well, the name of the party is the change we need. We need peace and we need freedom. And right now,
we need to end the war.
This country is not going towards peace, and it's certainly not going towards freedom.
Less freedom and more war. That's the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's insane. Mr. Alexander, I want to thank you for joining us here on Marijuana, Compassion, and Common Sense. It's been a delight talking with you. If people want to get hold of you, how can they get hold of your campaign?
Well, they can reach me through my email address. And, of course, going online, just pulling up Smart Voter, all the information will let you know exactly what my campaign is all about.
So if they go to smartvoter.com?
Smart Voter has everything.
Oh, they have to find your name on it, though.
No, just go to Smart Voter. Or just go on Google and put in Stewart, Stewart Alexander, and it has a plethora of information in regards to where I stand on many issues such as socialized health care, where I stand on the war, where I stand on the environment. The information is right there on Google. We love Google.
Yeah, don't we all? There's a number of people that don't have computers, internet access. Is there any other way people can get hold of you besides
people can, if they would like to reach me, I invite people to write to my campaign office, which is 40485 Murrieta Hot Springs Road, Suite 149, and that's Murrieta, California 92563. Once again, I repeat, that is 40485 Suite 149, Murrieta Hot Springs Road, and that's Murrieta, California 92563.
Is there any hot springs in Murrieta?
Yes, we have hot springs right there in Murrieta. Don't ask me where
They
they're
were there.
at.
You know, when I go down the freeway, I see Murray Hot Springs Road, and I want to go off to see the hot springs. Mr. Alex, thank you very much for joining us on the show. Best of luck,
Thank you
and
very
we
much.
hope to hear lots from you in the future.
Thank you very much.